Okay, now we are in the Google Search Console, and I want to show you how you have to add your website to the Google Search Console step by step. So first of all, in the Search Console, you see all the different properties you already have assigned and linked, but you need to assign it and verify that this is your property. How to do that? First of all, you create here, you click it and say, I add a property, and then you type in your specific address. Keep in mind that when you have an HTTPS, your site might be also reachable with HTTP, which HTTPS www and without, so you have kind of like 4 different options, and each property should be assigned to. And then later, once you have all 4 assigned, you need to verify and specify and say like, hey, my preferred property is the one without the www and without, anything else. So, but I show you, like, for instance, how you can get started and you add this property right live. So I add this one and say like, okay, I want to add it. And when this is happening, then you can also see that the Search Console says like, hey, you have to verify absolutely that this is you, right? And the reason or the way how you can do this is that you follow these 4 steps. First of all, you download the verification file, which I already did. So it's this one here. And then second, you basically go to your server or to your website and you are uploading this page that we can verify that this is you. So if I do this, you can see that this is found on my page. And then all I do is like I click below on verify. And I say like, hey, this is really mine. And you remember we uploaded this with the FTP, and then the Google Search Console says, congratulations, boom, you successfully added this property, right? So when you go now back actually to the main Search Console, I did this now 3 times. You should have then 4 times of that with papas.marketing. You see HTTPS papas.marketing, HTTP without the S with www marketing, and then here HTTPS, so you have all 3 right now. I added, and later on I add also the 4th one with HTTP without the S, and then you have one that is actually your preferred one. But what's happening, what is really good, I show you how you have to set up those steps, is when you assign the property, you'll receive an email from Google, and it says, hey, to improve your search presence, and you just added this property here, right? Just go through all those settings and let's make sure that you nail everything and everything is properly set up, right? So the first step was, of course, like add this property. And it says also include the HTTPS, the HTTP, the WW, and the non-WW, right? So that's what I just showed you. That's why I created already 3, and I need to even create then a 4th one. But what's important now is select your preferred version. That means Google goes through with this, and you click on the blue button here, and then you say, hey, what is my preferred web page? Because everything else I want to ignore. And then I make sure also here, make sure that you're in the correct, property, right? Because you definitely don't want to mess this up and set something wrong. So you say, hey, my preferred domain is displayed as papas.marketing and nothing else, right? So this is the first important step you have to do. Then once this is set, you click on select target country. Also important because I want to let immediately the Search Console know, well, this property is actually made for the United States. So you can select everything here by clicking, but for me, it's the United States, even if my English is horrible, right? But I hope you can understand me. I'll try to do it in English. So, and then, of course, you have here a feature and an option to also, when you click on that, to add a coworker or anybody else you want to give access to this property, and then he would have also all the access, whatever he wants to do with that, right? So you can also set this up. But I think the most important step, what you should always do, is like then submitting a sitemap. But this sitemap submit and test only works once you have your website also set up for that in the settings and readings, and you'll allow search bots to actually crawl your homepage. So that means as long as this is checked and you discourage the search engine from indexing this site, nothing is going to happen if you upload a so-called sitemap. But I still want to show you, even including the error, how it looks like. But you would need to make sure that this is unchecked. Otherwise, Google cannot crawl your specific sitemap. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now, where to find a sitemap? How to create a sitemap? How does a sitemap look like? So very easy. In the SEO Yoast plugin, you have under the features already a so-called XML Sitemap activated. It's on, right? And when you click on this little question mark here, then you can see there is a general XML sitemap, and if you click it, you can see what was actually created. So you see there's a post sitemap. So this is for all posts, because I deleted everything. There's just one test blog post. You see this is listed here. And you know, if I go back and I check now my pages, I would like to be indexed, of course. Then I see I have only 2 pages, my main page and the gallery page, right? That has 10 images. That's super cool because it shows you also how many images are on it. And if I go back again, I have also the category. And the only category I have right now that is published is uncategorized. That's the one and only that exists because I didn't create any categories yet. But you see, those are, so to speak, the 3 sitemaps. That's the index, you know, of all the sitemaps you have, 3, because I said I want to index posts, pages, and categories in the Yoast SEO plugin. And therefore, this is what I would like to use and upload, so to speak, to my search console. So when I do this, or how to do this, I want to show you. I copy this here, just the page-sitemap XML. And then I would go back to my search console and say like, hey, add a sitemap. And then I enter it here. And before I would run a test, and once the test is successful, I submit it, right? When I do this now, you can do it. I do it. I make a test. But I'm pretty sure if I click now, view the test result, there must be an error. And when I click it, yes, there's the error. We encountered an error. Please ensure your sitemaps follows the guidelines. They do. So that sitemap is fine and can be accessed at the location you provided. But that's exactly the issue. As you can see, the URL is restricted by robots. And I showed you that before. When you go to the website in the settings, here in the reading settings, this is what I mentioned. So only if you uncheck this discourage search engines from indexing this site, you will not get this error anymore and your test should be successful. But I still wanted to show you, because this page, papas.marketing, is not up and running yet. But I wanted to show you that you have to do this. And you have to make sure that all 3 sitemaps are uploaded and submitted to the Google Search Console. Because when you do this, then the crawling knows exactly, hey, what's going on, where can we crawl, and they attack, of course, the sitemap at first. So that's about it. So I can say you successfully added, of course, a new property to your search console. And I also showed you how the dashboard, the current one, looks like in crawl errors. You can check then if there are any crawling errors, if you have search analytics you can look for, and so on. And maybe I want to give you a sneak peek to the new one, because the old one might be removed sooner or later. But you see then here how it looks like when you have data. Everything is empty here because that domain doesn't do anything. But if I go, for instance, to another web property I just recently started, then you see like, oh, there is this is performance. I got 156 clicks in a specific period of time. I can check the performance, what's going on with my impressions, with my clicks, the click-through rate, the average positions, and so on. I see keywords and queries, and I can filter this. So it's super, super powerful, and it's very, very important that you are going to set this up correctly, as I showed you, and connect your web property with the Search Console. So that's about it for this session.